How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store's gargantuan holiday sale is live right now, and it is absolutely massive. As far as quantity of deals, overall 6,200 deals are available. Let us do what I usually do and limit it by full games, game bundles, and premium editions. What are we knocking it down to? 4,450 deals. Now, initially, why I thought this sale was so big was because I was assuming that they weren't gonna do the typical gimmick where it's a 2-week long or it's a 4-week long sale and then they cycle in deals 2 weeks later. Looks like they are doing that. The sale ends on January the 17th, so it is a 4-week long sale, and there are in fact deals that are available until January the 7th. So there's gonna be deals that are gonna be ending early. Make sure you pay attention to that because that's kind of a big deal. Sony doesn't really do a good job. The PlayStation Store doesn't do a good job of just letting you know. If they promote the ends January 17th date, but they don't promote the fact that a lot of these deals end on the 7th. So be mindful of that. This seems to happen every year with the holiday sale, so if you just want to pick some stuff up, keep the dates in mind. With that being said, let's look at some of these deals. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is 25% off for $52.49. If you picked up the GameStop deal, that would have been ideal, but if not, you know, Call of Duty games seeing any kind of discount shortly after release, just 2 months after release, is always a good thing in my opinion. I remember growing up and these games would never go on sale until the following year when the next Call of Duty was out. So nice to see that's changed a little bit. You got the gamut of sports titles: EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K 25, EA Sports Madden 25, College Football 25. Alright, if you want those, you can get them. God of War Ragnarok, $29.39 on that is obviously great. Spider-Man 2, $40 on that is decent. Astrobot is in fact $49.79. I saw that Amazon had it down to like $42, which I believe was the best price I've seen. But yeah, Astrobot is great, and it won Game of the Year for a reason. I don't know, like, I probably would have given it to Metaphor, but you know, it is what it is as far as that's concerned. I mean, I personally may have even given it to like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, but I'm talking about the nominees that were there. I would have liked to see Metaphor get the dub on that, but you know what, Astrobot's a nice W as well. I just, you know, it's a great game, it's a great platformer, just a smaller scale title, but that's fine for a game like this. It does it really well, and they've been updating it, which is quite nice. Dragon Age the Veilguard is 40% off for $42. I mean, I don't hate this game. I don't have a vehement hatred towards Dragon Age Veilguard. I actually think the combat is somewhat fun. I think the narrative and the writing and the dialogue is really bad. The overarching narrative isn't off. It's just that a lot of the writing isn't that great. From a combat standpoint, I did really enjoy it. I would say it would be a good pickup at 15 to 20 bucks. 42 though, I still think is way too pricey, but interesting that it's only been 2 months since, less than 2 months, about a month and a half since release, and it's already down to $42, and yeah, that's a sizable discount. I assume it's just gonna get cheaper and cheaper, so I would wait a little bit longer. Silent Hill 2, 30% off for $49. Pricey for Silent Hill 2. Interesting that this game came out in early October, and it's 30% off. Veilguard came out late October, 40% off. You get the idea, but Silent Hill 2 is another one of those games that got a lot of attention when it initially came out, but it also came out in a period where there was just a billion games coming out. I believe it came out the same week as Metaphor and Sparking Zero, so what can you do? Really well done remake by Bluebird Team, and hopefully Bluebird Team is tasked to do more remakes and things for Konami, because they did a phenomenal job with Silent Hill 2, and just in general, hopefully Bluebird Team gets a lot more attention. I think Bluebird Team's next game is going to have a lot of positive attention going into that game's release, so that's quite cool. Helldivers 2, 20% off for $32. Man, y'all saw what they did with the Killzone crossover that they are doing. Great to see the second half going to be completely free, and Helldivers 2 has just seen a complete resurgence over the last a couple of months or so, but really after the launch of Omens of Tyranny, there's a lot more interest in the game of people wanting to check it out for $32. I do think it's a great pickup, and I would certainly recommend it, especially if you've got some friends to play with. Speaking of a great pickup, if you've got some friends to play with, Warhammer Space Marine 2, 25% off for $52.49. You can play the game solo and still have a great time, especially with the campaign, albeit the campaign is very much on the shorter side, so keep that in mind. $52 and change could be seen as a really hefty price point, but I love Space Marine 2, thought it was a really great game. Over-the-top action mayhem. Harkens back to the yesteryear of, like, Xbox 360 era shooters. I've said that a few times about Space Marine 2, but I say that in the most complimentary way possible. It just has a soul and an essence that I feel like is from a bygone era in gaming. But nevertheless, $52.49 on that. Great deal there. Baldur's Gate 3, 20% off for $56. I'm not huge into Baldur's Gate 3. It's a game that I will give another shot to at some point, but when I initially played it, it just didn't hook me, and I get it. Gotta give it time. I'm not a big D&D guy either, so not really my cup of tea, but, you know, a lot of people enjoy it, and this is gonna be one of those I would rather be objective and be like, okay, everyone else likes it except for me. It's probably a game you're gonna enjoy, and I even plan on giving it another shot at some point. The Digital Deluxe is on sale. LEGO Horizon Adventures, 34% off for $39.59. Usually don't see Sony published titles go on sale this quickly. However, this to me, and I feel like we've been seeing this a lot more in gaming, where games come out like a LEGO Horizons Adventures, probably shouldn't be $60, but they price it at $60 anyway, with the notion that, hey, it's $60 now, we can just put it on sale really quickly, and if it is $60 versus, let's say, $40, it gives us more room to do bigger discounts, but to generate more revenue, if that makes sense. Like, if it was $40 and you're doing it 30% off, that would be $28. Well, price it at $60, the hardcores, the people with disposable income, and a lot of it will buy LEGO Horizon Adventures at $60, and then you'll quickly put it on sale down to sub $40. Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrush did this as well. That game is readily available for like 50% off. Just came out back in September, and yeah, that game is 50% off, and I was very critical of that game's price point, as I was with LEGO Horizon Adventures, and you know, at this price point, I still wouldn't say it's ideal. I would say $20 for Horizon Adventures would be really good, given it's a very, very short game. I love Horizon. As I've said before, Horizon is my favorite PlayStation IP. That is not hyperbole. It is literally my favorite ongoing PlayStation IP, I should say. But, you know, something like this, I think, should be cheaper. At least you should spend less money on. I understand why Sony does the things that they do. They run a business and they're trying to make money, but I digress. Grand Theft Auto 5, 50% off for $19.99 for the PS5 version. Elden Ring, 40% off for $36. Brothers, like, again, showcasing the shortcomings of digital gaming when Elden Ring is $36 for the digital edition, when it was just $20 on Amazon. Like, come on, man. Can we at least, like, given that it was $20, something like, what could we do? 60% off for $24. Like, that would be ideal. If nothing else, 50% off for $30. Nah, brah. Still 40% off for $36. Almost double what we were paying on Amazon if you bought the game on Amazon. Like, come on now. Hogwarts Legacy, PS4 version is $15. PS5 version is $17.49. I think that's a fantastic, fantastic price, and great to see that game get cheaper and cheaper. It was one that was holding up in price for quite a while, and I had assumed it would. That Harry Potter IP is just gigantic, but the game itself is really good, and I've said before, not a Harry Potter guy, but from a magical combat standpoint, thought this game was really well done. Narratively, it didn't really do much for me, but I thought the exploration, the combat, all of that was fairly well done. Phasmophobia recently came out on PlayStation, 25% off for $15, pretty good deal there. Cyberpunk 2077 is a 50% off for $24.99, which I think is a really good price. Great game, especially after the 2.0 update, but you should be looking to pick up the Ultimate Edition, which is still going for a hefty price, and actually, is it even on sale right now? Let us pull that up. It is not. I would imagine that's going to go on sale during the Wave 2, though, if that's how they structure it. Star Wars Outlaws, 35% off for $45.49, way too expensive, $15 to $20, and that's a decent pickup. Metaphor Refantasio, 25% off for $52.49. Mortal Kombat 1 is $20. Red Dead Redemption 2 is $19.79. Red Dead Online is not. Oh, I don't even know why I'm even mentioning Red Dead Online. Ain't nobody buying Red Dead Online. If you bought Red Dead Online standalone, oh my goodness. Red Dead Redemption 1 is $29.99. I think that's a pretty good deal, given that it runs at 60 FPS right now, and given that, you know, more importantly, it's one of the greatest games ever created, next to Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually rank Red Dead Redemption 2 above Red Dead 1, but Red Dead 1 is fantastic. John Marston is, you know, my second favorite character in the Red Dead lore, behind Arthur Morgan, but yeah, I love John as well. What a fantastic set of games there with Red Dead 1 and 2. Hopefully in my lifetime I'll see a Red Dead 3 actually be released. Diablo 4 Standard Edition is $29.99 and the expansion bundled with the Vessel of Hatred expansion for $45.49 is not a bad deal. If you're paying $30 for Diablo 4, you're essentially getting Vessel of Hatred for $15 and change. That sounds like a pretty spicy deal to me, so check that out. Alan Wake 2! New low price on that, 50% off for $29.99. Now that is the base game. Do they have the deluxe edition on sale? I'm gonna assume no, and it'll go on sale. Yeah, it'll go on sale during Wave 2, I would imagine. But yeah, that's a great price on Alan Wake 2. Strongly recommend, or let me be frank. I recommend it from the standpoint that everybody else loves it. I didn't love Alan Wake 2. Another game I would need to give another shot to, but yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. But there's a lot of elements I loved about that game. From a visual standpoint, tremendous. The vibes in that game, and that's really, for an atmospheric game like Alan Wake 2 is, those are the elements that really need to hit home, and I think they did a great job with Alan Wake 2 as far as that's concerned. Pal World is 25% off for $22.49. UFC 5 is $28. And by the way, Pal World may break out in just a couple of days. Definitely do check that out. Good time to pick up Pal World with all the content coming. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is 40% off for $42. Like I said to that person that wanted to buy it, Rebirth is on sale, and the Twin Pack is in fact on sale. If you're picking up that Twin Pack, that means you never played FF7 and FF Rebirth, bro. You are in for a trip. Like, have a good time with that. Somebody left a comment saying if they should sign up for Plus to access the early access to get the Rebirth and Remake Twin Pack, and a reply telling them, you know, just wait, the deal's probably gonna carry over. It did carry over, but man, how lucky is that guy? Because I know most of you guys played Remake and Rebirth, but that dude's about to have a great time. Like, happy holidays, brother. But yeah, that's $60. You can get Remake Intergrade, $15.19 for that if you just want to pick up that and then work your way to Rebirth. Final Fantasy 16 is 25% off for $37.49, and the Complete Edition is $52.49. At this point, if you're buying FF16, I would recommend you to just get the Complete Edition. Both DLCs, especially Rising Tide, is really, really good. And Final Fantasy 16 itself, I know it's a divisive game. I loved it. I thought it was a great game. Look, I'm not gonna be, I know what Final Fantasy is at this point. Every game is gonna be so starkly different from one another that this going the direction of a full-on action game, or, you know, mostly an action game, it didn't even bother me. Like, whatever. At this point, if I go into a Final Fantasy game, I don't, the Final Fantasy name, yeah, there are some aesthetic elements and some, you know, the elements like the summonings and things of this nature that are carried over, but you're essentially going into a new experience every time, and that's why, you know, with a game like Final Fantasy 13 even, I love Final Fantasy 13, and that game, a lot of people did not like that because of the linearity and whatnot, but, yeah, I'm a sucker for the Final Fantasy games even to this day, and I get it that a lot of people don't vibe with the newer ones. 15 was one that narratively, that game was just so weak that, I was disappointed by that, but 16 I really enjoyed. And by the way, I keep seeing Square Enix whenever I'm on X, so Square Enix putting out these anniversary tweets about Final Fantasy 13's release. Like, bro, can we get a Lightning Trilogy? Like, what's going on here? But nevertheless, and for Final Fantasy 16, can we get a PS5 Pro upgrade? Thank you, but yeah, if you have yet to play it, it's also one of the best technical showcases on the PlayStation 5. However, the performance mode, much like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, does have issues. That's why a Pro upgrade would be very nice. And FF7 Rebirth's now fantastic if you do have a PS5 Pro. 16 could get a lot of the same benefit, but I digress. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the PS5 version is actually cheaper than the PS4 version. The PS5 version is $17.49. They recently had a deal where it was like the cross-gen bundle where you got Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, and the cross-gen versions of both for $20, and now here we have Jedi Survivor on the PS4 for $20. Figure that one out. I don't know sometimes. Sonic X Shadow Generations Digital Deluxe, $45. Now that DLC did recently just drop for Sonic X Shadow, and Sonic 3 coming out, so not a bad time. You know, I'm seeing Sonic 3 getting some pretty solid reception, so, you know, good to see Sonic just on a bit of a hot streak. Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition is $30. New World Eternum, 30% off for $42 on that. You know, that's a newer release there, so might want to check that out. Tekken 8, $35, and Tekken 8 Ultimate, $66. Obviously, they just added Clive from Final Fantasy 16, so that's pretty cool. I know people are fiending for Tifa. Hopefully in Tekken 9, they'll finally add Tifa, or maybe if they do another crossover character then Tekken 8, you know, Tifa will get added. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, 50% off for $30. It's a FromSoft game that's just gonna hold up in perpetuity. Assassin's Creed Mirage is $20. Great deal there on AC Mirage. All things considered, that's probably the price point. I can say it should have come out in, but when do games ever come out at $20? Especially games from like a notable IP like that, and from Ubisoft, that just ain't gonna happen. But $20 is a good price. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, 50% off for $25. I've literally at this point beaten Spider-Man 1 like 5 times, 5 or 6 times. I've gotten the Platinum Trophy multiple times. I haven't gotten the Perfection run on Steam yet, like every achievement on Steam, but I've beaten this game an absurd amount of times. I love Spider-Man 2018, and I think it's a great game. I do think there's a lot of elements that Spider-Man 2 builds upon from Spider-Man 1, and I actually think Spider-Man 2018 is stronger in some areas, but yeah, $25 for that is a no-brainer. All you guys already played it. Horizon Forbidden West is $30. You should get the complete edition when that's on sale. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is $28. Armored Core 6 is $36. Another clear indication of the shortcomings of digital gaming. $19 on Amazon. What are we doing here? I know what we're doing, but I'm still gonna ask, what are we doing here? Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition is $24, decent deal there. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition is $9.99. Good to see it finally back down to its $9.99 price point after it got its price juiced up after the PS5 upgrade came out, but great price point on that. You got No Man's Sky for $24, great pickup there. A Haze Light bundle with It Takes Two and A Way Out, $19.79. Lies of P for $36. Oh, how about that? Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the base game's finally on sale for $35. That's pricey given that it was $25 on Amazon, but like, yo, y'all already know the deal with that. Like, I'm gonna keep bringing it up so I can reiterate, you know, when the price discrepancy is that strong. Anything above $10 of difference, I'm a bug out about that. But nevertheless, $35 on that. Disney Dreamlight Valley, $30 on that. Elder Scrolls Online for $5. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for $9.99. You got Resident Evil titles on sale. Village is $16. Biohazard is $8. Mortal Kombat 11 is $5. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is $15. Battlefield 2042 is $5.59 for the PS5 version. I think that's a pretty damn good deal, and I would say give that a look. RoboCop Rogue City is $27. That's wild. That game is literally like $15 on PC. I don't understand why it's still $27 on console. I mean, I do understand why, but at the same time, I'm still gonna complain about it. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, 20% off for $40. Not a steep discount, but with all the content that's in the MVC Fighting Collection, that's still, you know, a worthwhile pickup with all the quality in that. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, 75% off for $15. A sequel for that did get announced. Monster Hunter World is $99. Iceborne Master Edition is $16, which I think is a really, really good deal. And then Monster Hunter Rise and Rise Sunbreak, or I should say Rise with Sunbreak, is $15. That's really good. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, $30 on that. That game is fairly underrated. I don't think it did that well commercially. However, that game screams to me future PlayStation Plus Essential title or getting baked into Plus Extra. So I would wait, and if you did want to buy it, I would say, you know, $15 to $20. That's probably the cap on that. Slitherhead, 30% off for $35. Janky PS3 game, you know, that's definitely up my alley. And when I say janky PS3 game, I mean reminiscent of like janky PS3 games. But yeah, $35 on that. Unknown 9 Awakening, 50% off for $25. I know everybody just loves that game. But nevertheless, Batman Arkham Collection, a deal that I always like to recommend. Batman, you know, that's a great trilogy of Batman titles. $5.99 on that is always a bargain. Fallout 4 is $7.99. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is $15. Borderlands 3, $5.99. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Legendary Edition is 70% off for $36. If you're a Plus subscriber, you'll save an additional 5%, knocking it down to $29.99, which I would say is pretty damn good. Mafia Trilogy is $15. A lot of deals here, man. The Quarry is $9.79. Need for Speed Heat for $3 is pretty damn good, you guys. Nier Automata, $16 on that. Dying Light 2, $24. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is $4. That's obviously a great deal. Marvel's Midnight Suns, that's the PS4 version. That is $9. I would imagine the PS5 version is on sale as well. Stray, 40% off for $18. And yeah, Midnight Suns for PS5 is $10.44. $26.99. Stalker is Legends of the Zone trilogy. That's the original Stalker titles. You'll have to wait for Stalker 2 on PS5, but that's $26. Dead Space $17.49. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown $20. Romancing Saga 2 is 25% off for $37.49. That, along with Fantasia and Neo Dimension, are just going to be the two sleeper Square Enix JRPGs of the year. Both games are great. Romancing Saga, definitely not for everyone in how that game is structured, but I still find it to be a rather interesting game and a great soundtrack in that game, as well as to be expected. Atomic Heart is on sale. Resident Evil 2, $9.99. Resident Evil 3, $9.99. RE5 is $4.99. Final Fantasy 15 is $14. Kingdom Come Deliverance, the base game, is $7.49. The Royal Edition's literally been $4, so don't buy that. What else we got? Resident Evil 4 Original is $5 as well. Battlefield 1, $1.99 on that is pretty good. Dragon Age Inquisition Deluxe, $2.99 on that. That's a bargain. Mass Effect Legendary Edition at $4.79, so that is obviously a tremendous deal. That quite possibly could be the best deal in this entire sale, so check that out as well. There's a ton of deals available. I'll go through it in entirety myself, but literally that is 11 pages of deals, and there's 186 pages. Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. You guys know how much I love that game. No, literally one of the worst games of the year. $39 is so crazy. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is $9. That recently just got the PS5 60 FPS upgrade, so might be worthwhile to check it out. Borderlands Pandora's Box Collection. Risk of Rain 2. Sonic Frontiers, $42 for the digital. What is going on here with Sonic Frontiers price? Like, somebody needs to be asking questions, or we need some questions answered as far as why that game's price like literally got jacked up to the heavens. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Obviously, I'll sit down and look through the entirety of the sale and give you guys the typical videos that we do. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.